Currently, more than 1 million wives care for their families and their homes, often while their husbands are deployed out of state or overseas for months at a time. And while holding down the fort, these women can experience a roller coaster of emotions, including disappointment, loneliness, and fear. Well, Sara, the wife of a Navy reservist and the founder of Wives of Faith, understands the challenges you face, and in God Strong, she reveals the 9 spiritual truths every military wife needs to know. And Sara, thanks so much for being with us. And first of all, we just want to thank you so much, you and your husband, for all that you're doing for us here in America. I mean, we're just so grateful for those that are, willing to lay their lives down for us. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. There's a lot of wives out there who are doing the same thing in and out and every day, but it's great when you can know that it's appreciated.
Right.
So
So tell us a little bit about your story and how you met your husband, and was he a Navy reservist at the time that you met?
My husband and I actually were dating before he left for boot camp as a Navy reservist, and that was, oh goodness, back in the late 90s. We were married in 1998, and so he joined the reserves a couple years before that. Proposed after he got back. I like to say the Navy paid for my ring, my engagement ring. And at the time, I really did not know what I was getting into. We, for the first 10 years, really, of his service, I saw it as what he did. It didn't affect me. It didn't really impact me. He went off once a month and, did what I called, played his war games, and 2 weeks in the summer, and it really was not that huge of a part with me, I guess, until I actually went overseas myself. I'm a writer and a reporter, and I went over for Baptist Press to Iraq the first year of the war, twice to the USS Harry S. Truman and then to Baghdad to cover stories of Christians in the military. And then things started to click for me. I saw the value and the importance of what my husband did, because there's so many National Guard and Reserves who are serving alongside our active military now. And so 2 years later, God took me full circle when he deployed, and really showed me some things that I had not expected or even thought of.
Yeah. While you were in overseas in Iraq, what were some of the things you saw that really truly changed your perspective?
Well, first of all, the sacrifices that our service members make, leaving their families and being over there. But I also got a chance to sit down with an Iraqi family, which was an incredible opportunity. And this man was actually a pastor of a Christian church in Baghdad, and shared his story, his family's story of what it was like under Saddam before the U.S. and coalition forces came in, and to know the freedom and the opportunities that they were now able to experience. I knew that our military had a part in that, had an impact on that. And so, I've had the opportunity to talk to other military wives who say, I don't understand why my husband's over there. I don't understand the good that we're doing by being over there. And I've said, this is why we're there, and this is the difference we're making.
I think that still stands today. Just regular media hasn't captured the plus side, the benefit from the standpoint of the Iraqi people. Of what happened with Operation Iraqi Freedom and the follow-up and the desire to help build a nation, a democratic nation there. What are some of the bottom line benefits, or some of the things that the people themselves were thankful for, like that pastor?
Well, obviously they're still struggling to find that balance of being able to worship freely, but that was something that they weren't able to do really under Saddam, and so they're able to have more opportunities. It was they have. I know this sounds silly, but they have satellite TV now. They can hear.
Contact with the outside world.
Yes, they have contact with the outside world, and so that's a big difference. So there's a lot of benefits. I had a woman come to me in this little Iraqi church and said, we were hoping what happened in Afghanistan would happen here.
Wow.
They wanted that chance, that opportunity to be able to have freedom.
Live in a free nation.
Yes.
Now, along with that experience opening up your eyes, you said that God brought you full circle when your husband deployed. Tell us a little bit about when he was deployed. Where did he go, and where that kind of what did that do in your life?
Right. Well, when he got ready to deploy, my husband is my best friend. You know, I mean, we've been married almost 12 years now, and he is just my rock. And so when he got ready to leave, I knew that I was going to need other women in my life who I could lean on. But as a reservist wife, I was 4 hours from where his unit was, and I knew I would not have that connection with those ladies. So that's when I started a group called Wives of Faith, where it's open to active guard and reserve, and we just come together and we're able to talk and connect and have that bond, because not only do we share the same faith, but we share the same ups and downs as a military wife. So so that was really important for me. But what I learned during those 10 months that he was gone was that I tried to do a lot of it on my own. You know, I mean, I just, and I talk about this in the book, but I just tried so hard to be strong, because that's a big part of being in the military. Your husband's hear it every day, so as a spouse, you hear it. You need to be strong. You need to be supportive. You need to keep things going while he's away. And I discovered halfway through that deployment that I wasn't making it. I was tired. I was spent. I was exhausted. And God really just sat me down one day, curtains drawn, sitting in the living room. It was actually the 4th of July, and I was not very joyous. And God just said, you know, you've been trying to do this on your own for so long, but I'm here. I'm here. Let me, you know, lean on me. Let me have, give you the strength that you need.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll get a little bit. Sorry, I did so good. But we'll get a little bit more into God's strength in a moment. But just wanted to ask you about your son, because you and your husband, he's 9 years old right now.
Right.
How did your husband's deployment affect him?
You know, we really tried to be positive during the deployment, and I think how your parents act is really makes a big difference with how your children act. If you are down in the dumps and just, you know, the world's on your shoulders, your child's going to feel that way too. So we really tried to stay positive for him. He did struggle the first month that Cliff was in Iraq, and had nightmares, had tummy aches, and we were able to deal with that, and he got a lot better. He knows, he's very proud of what his dad does.
Sure.
Right. All right, well, when we come back, we'll find out a little bit more about how God gave you the strength to be all that he's called you to be, and we'll have that in just a moment, so stay with us.